Hey everyone, welcome back to JLE Tech. Today I'm going to be showing you 5 easy things you can do to keep your computer up to date and running smoothly. Let's get into it. So number 1 on the list is going to be maintenance. Keeping maintenance on the computer is pretty important. It helps clean out all the temporary files that Windows builds up over time, as well as fix errors if you're running programs like CCleaner, which is the first program I'm going to be showing you. CCleaner is a free to download software, and it's pretty good in keeping the computer clean. It cleans things out like internet cache, temporary files, and it also has registry cleaning tools as well. It's safe to run. I've been using it for quite a while and it works pretty well. I'll go ahead and run it on my system now to show you. Right now it's going to be cleaning out all these things that I have checked out, but you can mix and match if you don't want things open or if you don't want things to be cleaned. I'm going to click no because I want my Chrome tab open, but you would normally hit yes on this. It then tells you everything that it cleaned out, and you can always keep an eye on this if you'd like. There is an option to run CCleaner automatically, but I like to run it manually. They also have a registry cleaning tool as well. With this, it looks through your registry for missing DLLs, just inconsistencies, things that can be removed safely, and that your system doesn't need to run well. Here are the things it found. It gives you a chance to back up the changes because you want to be really careful whenever you're making changes to the registry. I'm going to hit no because it's a fairly small list, and I do know that these things are pretty safe to remove. We'll go ahead and fix all. And there you go. That's CCleaner. That's one way to keep out at least the temporary files and all the junk that Windows builds up over time. It's a good way to keep it suppressed. But another thing we also want to do is defragment the drives. Every Windows computer has a defrag tool. You can reach it by, if it's Windows 7, 8, or 10, typing defrag in the search. You can also reach it on XP, but I'm pretty sure everyone's moved past XP at this point. One thing you want to remember with defragging, you don't want to defrag solid state drives. Solid state drives have a way of optimizing themselves, and the extra reads and writes normally don't help the drive very much. It actually causes more damage in the long run. What you want to do is defrag hard disks. I'm not going to run it this time around, but this is a great way to keep everything in order, keep the drive running smoothly, quickly, and it's just going to help the performance of the system overall. So number 2 on the list is going to be updates. Windows updates are pretty important on the PCs. They fix small bugs and they release performance updates all the time, pretty much every day. You can easily reach this by typing update on your computer. And we'll see if Windows is able to find any new updates. They normally release an update, at least an update a day, at least if you're on Windows 10. There's an update here, and it also schedules reboots automatically. Looks like I can't run this update until I reboot, so I'll leave that for later. But you would definitely make sure that you run the updates at least once a week, if not every day. If every day is possible, that's great. And also, you have to also remember to reboot the computer because the computer can't finish the updates unless the computer is rebooted afterwards. You want to make sure you're always up to date on your Windows updates. That way you know that everything's running smoothly and that you have the latest and greatest operating system available. Another thing that you want to keep track of is your driver updates. When you have a custom PC, it might get a little complicated because you might be using all these different parts, some MSI parts, some Gigabyte parts, you could be all over the place with the drivers, and especially depending on if you're NVIDIA or AMD. But a tool that I have, I'm running a fairly MSI heavy build, so I do have the MSI Live Update 6. I'm going to hit X on this, and with this I would just hit scan. It's going to check through a bunch of the drivers I have in my system and just let me know if I have any updates. I choose not to install all of them because a lot of them are unnecessary, but if you have let's say you have a Dell OEM computer that you just, you purchased at Best Buy, let's say, you can always go on the Dell website, put in your model, and you can see all the drivers, and they'll usually have a driver scanning tool that you can run to see if you have any updates available. Driver updates are also pretty important, and they pretty much perform the same function as Windows updates. They fix small bugs, Sometimes they release performance upgrades, and again, overall, just keep the performance on your computer running smoothly. So number 3 on the list is going to be startup items. You can reach your startup items by opening the start menu and typing msconfig. They changed it up a little bit in Windows 8 and 10. You have to do it through the task manager, but on Windows 7 you'll be able to reach msconfig straight from the start menu. Once you have it open, it's going to show you all the items that are starting when your computer starts. Things like Skype and the Corsair utility engine, Corsair gaming software, these are things I don't use very often. And if I ever need them, I'm more than happy to just go to the link on my desktop or just manually go to them. But these are items that I don't want starting every single time my computer starts, so I'm happy to turn them off. Other things like NVIDIA, the NVIDIA software, I leave on because it has to do with the updates, and I like knowing when a new driver update is available for my system. It's a good idea to always keep this list nice and low, have only a few items enabled, only the really important things that you'll know you'll always be starting when your computer starts. This way, it brings the startup impact down, and what you want is for it to be as low as possible. That way your computer is starting up quickly and it's not loading too much when it starts. So number 4 on the list is going to be installed software. I'm going to head over to Programs and Features. And what you want to make sure is everything that you have here on this list is something you know and something you use. I can say that I use pretty much all the things installed on the list. Obviously these are Microsoft updates and these are small files that other programs need to run properly. But if you have malware installed on the computer, this is a good place to look. Should I Remove It is a good website you can use to see if you have any malware on your computer. So you can search up the name of the software that's installed on the PC and pretty much get reviews on it. I wouldn't say so much reviews, but you'll know what's good and what's not good. Ask Toolbar, I know there's some other pretty good ones on this list. Search Protect, My PC Backup. These do nothing but send pop-ups your way. They try to get you to buy things, and most likely once you pay for the things they're trying to sell you, they're not really going to do anything for you. They're pretty much just money grabs that slow down your computer. They run processes in the background, they send ads your way, and they just slow down the computer's performance. It's always a good idea to have these off of your computer. That's why I recommend looking through your programs and features. Look through the list. Make sure everything you see here is something you use. Make sure you know when you downloaded everything, when you installed it, and why you have it. And if there's something you're unsure of, head over to Should I Remove It. Search up the program, and then you'll get an idea of if it should or shouldn't be on your system. So the last thing on the list is going to be the antivirus. You want to make sure you have an antivirus on the computer. I'm going to head over to mine, which is Windows Defender. This is the free antivirus that's included with most Windows copies. Well, most of the new ones anyway. I'm going to head over to Update and make sure that my definitions are up to date. Definitions are normally released with Windows updates, so this is something I normally wouldn't do because it's being done through the Windows updates, but it's always something nice to check out. You want to make sure you have an antivirus on the computer. Windows Defender isn't the greatest, but if you're confident in your ability with the computer, you know you're not going through these weird websites downloading left and right, you should be pretty safe to use it. You don't need an antivirus like Kaspersky or Norton, which you have to pay for. Like I said, as long as you're careful, Windows Defender will do an okay job. Well, you want to make sure that you have an antivirus on your computer, and you want to make sure that you're running scans and that you don't have anything in the history, you don't have any quarantine items, you don't have anything detected. On my computer, I don't have anything. Thus far I haven't downloaded anything, I haven't caught any viruses, gotten any warnings, nothing like that. I'm pretty careful with my system, but having an antivirus as another layer of protection is always a good idea. You want to make sure that your antivirus is updated and that it's running scans normally. This way, you'll know that you have another layer of protection when it comes to your system. So there you have it. Those are 5 things you can do to keep the PC running nice and smooth. If you liked the video, please leave a like down below, and feel free to leave any comments you may have for me. And if you like what you see and you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. And always remember to keep tuned for the next video.